I think discipline is quite overrated. Not useless, just completely misunderstood. Because most people treat discipline like it was a personality trait. Some people are just born stronger, more focused, more driven, more locked in. That's not really true. Discipline is not a personality trait. It is a skill. And most disciplined people aren't stronger than you. Their life just require less resistance. So they don't wake up and fight themselves every morning to do their work, or they don't eat junk food every single day because their environment is already decided for them. So their food is already planned out, their work is already structured, and they already remove most of the distraction that they have going on in their daily life. Meanwhile, a lot of people rely on willpower. They are inside an environment where it destroys their attention, their ambition, and everything in between. And essentially, when they fail, they blame themselves and make that whole cycle even worse. So, after reading deep work, I have come up with a plan to become more consistent. And here's how you do it. Step one, stop trying to become more disciplined. Become easier to operate. So when you are trying to become more disciplined, you spend your days relying on your willpower to say go to work, to say stay on a diet. Everything that you do that are remotely productive require willpower. And sure, that might last for a week or two, but most people will be burnt out. They are completely useless in the face of time because if you don't have an instructional system that are in place and make you follow those habit every single day, then you will fail. So for example, my goal was to walk 10,000 steps every day. 10,000 steps was difficult when I was at home because there are only so much place I can walk to around this small town. And sure, for the first couple of days, just going on a walk was fun, and doing it for a week or so, I felt tired because I feel like, oh, I'm just wasting an hour or two walking around and doing essentially jack shit. And it was essentially really boring. So, what did I do? I make it so that it's easier to get 10,000 steps in. One, getting a treadmill. If I think walking outside and just wandering is sometimes boring, I can always rely on my treadmill. I just walk on my treadmill and I'll be fine. I could just play game while I walk on my treadmill. So make it easier to operate. Make everything so that you are already linked to your daily habit. So for example, I play games. That I can link to with just doing cardio. Every single time I play a game, I do also do cardio. So make something unproductive productive. For example, going to school. Oftentimes when I'm in college, I get 10,000 steps in easily because I was just going to school. And that is a habit that I do every single day. And I just happen to have cardio added on top of it. And make things a lot easier to hit 10,000 steps and lose weight. So what you want to do to operate your daily life is to remove friction, to have something to like, oh, maybe you lock your phone away. Maybe you prepare your workspace before. Maybe you plan the day ahead. So anything that lower activation energy. So for example, I have my laptop exactly where my bed is. Because the first thing that I want to do every single day is work. And if I had to wake up, brush my teeth, go downstairs, I would most likely be stuck somewhere scrolling my phone or doing something that wastes time. So, first thing in the morning, wake up, sit on this chair, and do my work. So, make the good action easier than the bad ones. And oftentimes, to make the good action replace the bad one, link together. So, that's the first step. Step two, stop building system for your ideal self. Build system for your tired self. Oftentimes, when people build their system, their environment, they spent it on creating an environment when they're motivated, because that's the state that they're in when they're creating these environments. So they make it so that, oh, they do a lot of tasks and make it so it's so hard to even get started on the task. However, from my experience, self-control is exhausting. You will 90% of the time will not be in a motivated state. However, when you have a structure, you can scale that to a higher level. So back to the example I had. One structure that I have is having my laptop where I would wake up, or having my journal where I would go to sleep. Those two things are must do in my day, waking up and go to sleep. So I link that to doing most important work in the morning and concluding my day and planning for tomorrow when I'm sleeping. Those two things are mandatory, put in. Something you can do is, for example, reading a book when you're eating or going to the gym after work. So most people have to go to work and go home. During those two commute, you can put the gym in the middle. So when you have structure like that, you don't depend on emotion anymore. You just work on a structure that you create, and it's almost autonomous. So for me, waking up and doing this is kind of easy. Or going to the gym, it's kind of easy for me now. It was hard when I started. However, I just make it so that, oh, going to the gym was my first ever task every single day. Cause sure, it was hard, but if it was the first thing that you do, you have the most energy to do it. And once you did it, it become a habit. Or back to the example I had. I had a treadmill and playing games. I love playing games. And personally, that is an unproductive habit, but that's something that I do almost every single day. And I put a treadmill down. If I put a treadmill there, I can get my cardio in. Say I can play an hour or 2 hours. Boom, I'm done with my cardio, and I play some game while. So have a structure that is linked to almost your unnegotiable task, and that will make everything a lot easier. And personally, my life changed when I stopped asking, how do I become more motivated? And started asking, how do I make progress feel easy? Like I said, discipline matters, but the environment that you set yourself in matter more. That's why we have a saying that the 5 people that you surround yourself with are who you are. So change your environment, change what you interacted with, and the people that seem the most disciplined are usually just remove the need to constantly fight themselves. So that's pretty much it for this video. And if you want 5 to 10 qualified clients every single month automatically, check out my auto generation course below. It's a combination of all my automation put into one, and I'll teach you how to set it up so you can get client automatically. But other than that, see.